Good morning, Sunset Country. We're back again. Dave Kane, Deb Cruikshank, your favorite people on Friday mornings.
Exactly.
We're our favorite people.
We're our favorite people.
Yes, it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad to be a part of everybody's morning.
Yeah,
it's
we
very
love
exciting.
This. We love this.
What else is exciting this week, Dave?
Well, you know what? I got to bring up, first of all, Tuesday. Winter came. Wasn't that awesome?
With a blast. I didn't see that one coming. You would think, you know,
it's almost December. It happens every year, Deb. Every year.
But I was even up for a little bit, and my youngest was like, "Oh, Mama, it's winter." And I look out, and I was like, "Oh, look at that! It is."
It was awesome.
I
love it.
You do love it. Well, you look beautiful in your sweater.
We'll talk about this on the show later. It's my nice Christmas sweater. Yeah. I'll show you the back later.
Yeah.
The back's interesting.
Yeah, the back is pretty.
Yes.
It's pretty good.
But winter is here. But I'm going to break for a second and go to my other life for a second and remind everybody it's winter. There's snow out there. Get your winter tires on if you haven't got them on. And even if you don't use winter tires, some people use all season or some use studded. Yeah. Remember, it's winter. Drive like a human.
Yes, drive carefully. And if you don't have to be out driving, stay home.
Yeah. And if it's snowing and you got to be to work at 8, leave a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Don't rush, okay?
Yeah, no rushing.
I had to get that out there.
I did get my winter tires on early this year, which was the first time, I think, ever that they were on before it actually snowed.
But you were telling me on Tuesday that you were sliding up the hill.
Yeah, I was, somebody slowed down. Well, there's so many hills in Kenora, so somebody slowed down on the hill, and I was like, oh, it's the end of us. It's okay. Yes. We have a great show for you today.
We do have a great show.
We actually have Ronnie Grosnick on from the OPP, and she's here to talk about
fentanyl.
Serious business.
Yeah.
Lots of yucky stuff.
Yeah, we're going to get serious for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. After serious.
But that's okay.
After serious, we're going to show a little bit of a skill contest we had with the Moon in June Pottery Studio.
That was such an amazing
It was so much fun. We went to the studio and showed a little bit of our skills off. Yeah. Well, I showed my skill.
We weren't able to do a ghost moment, but that's okay.
No, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But it was fun. But it was ghost because your little wheel was spinning by itself.
He was there in spirit for sure.
It was there.
We also have a health minute.
We have the health minute. We all need the health minute.
All need the health minute.
That's really awesome. And we've got
Dryden.
coming up Friday, starting on Friday, the Dryden Tree Festival, Tree of Lights Festival.
Tree of Lights Festival.
Yeah.
It is in support of the Grace Haven Nutcracker, which is the place. So I believe they're raising money for that. They have a few different events. It looks like a really fun weekend. This weekend is going to be a really fun weekend everywhere. So Friday night, 7 to 9, they have wine tasting. So there's going to be wine tasting samples, complimentary food during this magical night. Sounds super fun. $35 a person at the Center in Dryden.
And on Saturday, quickly, they have a backyard hockey with the Ice Dogs going on. It's at the Center on 100 Casimir Avenue, 100 Casimir Avenue, from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So go play some hockey. And they have Elvis and Dalen James concert from 7 to 9, also on Saturday night.
Well, we've got a busy weekend this weekend too. We'll talk about more of that at the end of the show.
Yes.
But a couple weeks ago, we had Gord Desjans on the show. He was so fun. He was talking about Trilight Theatre's production, Hello, Dolly.
Right.
So this production is also going all weekend long, still here in Kenora. So you can get your tickets at their website, trilighttheatre.ca. But our producer, Shelley Bujold, had an opportunity to go and see it.
Yes.
And she brought some highlights back to share with all of us. So here's that story now.
The cast and crew of Trilight Theatre's production of the Broadway classic Hello, Dolly comes together at First Baptist Church in Kenora for a string of shows until November 26th. Director Gord Desjans created a show that makes use of the entire theater. The cast members act in the aisles during some scenes, and a new technical feat of a rotating stage floor really adds a lot of character to some of the hat shop scenes. Starring Pauline Martin as the fun-loving Dolly, her voice and wit holds the audience throughout the entire performance. Taking on such a big production has taken months of rehearsals and hard work, but the cast really seemed to have it all together for an entertaining evening out. And don't forget to have a cinnamon bun at intermission. It's definitely delicious. Until next time, I'm Shelley Boujold for Good Morning Sunset Country.
Thanks for that, Shelley. And like I said, tickets are still available. You can go to their website, trilight.ca, for more of that. When we come back, Dave is going to be here with OPP Constable Ronnie Grosnick to talk about fentanyl and how it's affecting our community.
And later on, we're going to show Deb and I doing our pottery skills. It'll be great. Well, we're back on Good Morning Sunset Country, and on the couch I have my good friend Ronnie Grosnick.
Good morning.
Constable Ronnie Grosnick. How are you doing, Ronnie?
I'm great. How are you?
I am well.
Do you miss me?
No, not really. No, I'm only kidding. So Ronnie, you're here. It's all in the news. You're here to talk to us about an awesome news story that's out there. That's not so awesome, but it's big. It's bothering everybody. Okay, it's fentanyl. Everybody's heard about the fentanyl all over Canada. We live in the community Kenora. Can you tell us how it's affecting our community?
Well, fentanyl, as you've said, is all over the news. There have been deaths across the country in the last few years from fentanyl, which is a prescription medication. When we talk about the deaths, though, we're talking about the misuse of fentanyl. People that are using fentanyl not as directed by a doctor, but in an illegal and unsafe way.
Yeah. And how are they used? Like, what are they using with it? For people that don't know, what are they doing with it?
Fentanyl comes in a variety of forms. So the typical is there's a fentanyl patch, there are pills, there are tablets. I'm looking at my list. Liquid form, powder. There's all different ways, but really most of those forms, when they're taken properly, have a time release or some way that you can take it safely. And that's not how people are using it. They're cooking it down, they're crushing the pills, they're not taking it in a way that is directed by a physician. And that's where it becomes deadly.
Yes. So have we noticed these issues in like our Northwest region? Or have we had episodes with fentanyl?
Absolutely. We did have a non-fatal fentanyl overdose in Kenora. And luckily, there were people nearby that acted quickly and saved this person. But the drugs are here. Our officers are seeing them on the streets. And from information around the community, it's definitely here in Kenora as well.
So the fentanyl, it's out there. They're using it with other drugs, obviously. They're cutting it or adding it to it or whatever. So what are some of the drugs they're using? What are we seeing in this area?
Well, and I mean, that's a hard thing to pin down because, as you know, drug dealers and people that are distributing this drug in an illegal manner, they cut it down, they thin it out with anything. Yeah. I mean, there's different types of cutting agents, and all that stuff is tested in our labs when it's seized. But like pure fentanyl, so pure fentanyl, 2 milligrams of pure fentanyl, which is about 4 grains of salt, can be fatal to an adult. Wow. So then throw in some methamphetamine, maybe a little bit of hydromorphine into that mix, and that's where you're seeing these deadly combinations. Wow. It's very strong. It's 100 times more potent than morphine and 40 times more potent than heroin. Jeez. And it's all over the place. Yeah. Now we hear, I assume the OPP, the police, the emergency services, the health unit are all on this, especially locally. Is there any action being taken by them, or what can they do to address this? Well, I can only speak to the OPP, and we are trying to be education, thanks to the media and our partners in the community. But I know that other community partners are looking at this. It is a serious health risk, and it is definitely something that is affecting the public safety of our people. So everybody's doing what they can. I mean, the other thing too is some people do take fentanyl and use fentanyl as a legal prescription drug. And the important thing to remember is fentanyl or any other prescription drug that's in your home, if you're done with it, if you're not using it, you should dispose of it properly. It can be returned to the pharmacy, is your safest bet. Don't flush it down the toilet. Don't throw it in the garbage. take it to the pharmacy and have it disposed of properly. Because not only can it make you a target for things like property crime, thefts, people can be targeting you, coming to your home, looking for these types of drugs if they know that you're on them, but also your families. I mean, it's a very dangerous substance to have around. It does have a purpose. It's meant to control chronic pain, and I mean, it wouldn't be out there if it didn't have a need and a necessity. But we certainly don't want to see people misusing it and being injured or dying because of it.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up because, as we all know, in my former life, of course, we all were aware of that there's a lot of drugs out there that people have in their homes that are prescribed for you and they have a purpose for you. But if you're not using them, leaving them in your medicine cabinets, leaving them in, especially a lot of the seniors, they have their drugs, they leave them around. And that causes problems when we have break-ins, correct?
Absolutely. And people that are in the drug trade know types of, when somebody's ill with certain types of illnesses, this might be a drug that they get prescribed to. So if a person that's in the drug trade knows, oh, this person has chronic pain, I bet they may have fentanyl or some of these other high-potency pain medicines that we're seeing out there, that could make you a target. So you certainly want to be careful. Don't keep any more than you have to. Speak to your doctor, and don't get large prescriptions.
Yes, exactly.
You know, if you're living in an area where you know that somebody might be abusing drugs or somebody near you might be abusing drugs, you don't want to have any excess around.
That's right.
So talk to your doctor and get, I mean, the doctors are great for that. They're not handing out huge prescriptions of these drugs. Nobody wants to see anybody get hurt. But you certainly do make yourself a target for theft if you have them.
Yes, you do. And as you said before, if you have them in the house and you're not using them, take them back and have them disposed of properly so that people don't break in and take them. Well, thank you very much, Ronnie. When we come back, Deb and I are at the Moon and June Pottery Studio, and I'm making a gravy boat.
Good morning, Sunset Country.
Morning.
We are here at Moon and June Studio
Yes.
with Miss Amy Baldwin,
Yep.
who's a ceramicist. I had to practice that before we came.
Ceramicist.
Yeah, good. I like that. That's
Did
what
you
I
like
call
it?
myself.
So you make ceramics.
I do.
Thank you.
Awesome.
For people like me, that's what she does.
You
Make
didn't
ceramics.
start out in pottery ceramics, though, did you?
No, I have a fashion arts background, so I originally started out like making clothing and dyeing fabric and things like that. So
Awesome.
And then you rediscovered clay.
I
hear.
did.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess after 3 years of doing fashion arts school, I just kind of had enough, and I needed a different medium. So playing with the clay and like how responsive it is to touch and just the things that you can do with it, I loved it. So
Awesome. So
here I am.
what are we getting our hands into today?
Something good.
We're gonna try the wheel. So that's usually what people think about when they hear pottery or ceramics.
Yeah.
They think of wheel throwing. I do both. I do wheel throwing and hand building. Hand building is more like slow and like you can be more like you can take your time with it. But with the wheel, it's sort of you have this third sort of part. You've got the clay and the wheel, and it's kind of tricky to balance it all. So people think it looks easy.
Yeah.
But
We'll see.
We'll be one with the clay. You'll
Yeah.
be one with the clay.
Nice.
That's it.
yeah,
Excellent.
that's the goal.
That's awesome.
Here we go. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
It's on there. Okay. Now you need to affix it. Make sure it's got a nice seal so it doesn't pop off. You gotta check to make sure it's in the very middle of the wheel. And right now I can see my hand like wiggling just a little bit. That means it's not centered. So I need to work on that a little bit. And I kind of put my body weight into it. It's like the center of the hurricane. Like you're looking for that point that isn't moving. And then once you find it, then you can push down. You need to have a thick enough bottom on your piece because when you're going to finish it later, that is like trim it at the bottom to clean it up.
Right.
You want to be able to trim a little bit off the bottom and still have a good thickness on the bottom of your mug. So right now I'm just kind of squeezing it up the finger that's sitting on the inside into sort of like a volcano shape. The thing with throwing is that it automatically wants to turn into a bowl because of the centrifugal force. So you're trying to force it into like this volcano shape, and then you can control how wide the rim is. See that ridge there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull that all the way up.
Look at that. Whoa.
Hey.
I could pull this a couple more times, it's still got a lot of clay in it. But if you can throw a cylinder, you can throw anything. Yeah, all right, you guys want to get on there?
Sure, let's try it.
Cool.
All right, let's try. Oh, look at that.
Give it another snack on top. Just a really...
Whoa, ah! Hold on, stop. Oh man, are you ever off center? Look at mine. Mine's centered. All right.
You've got a little bit of a twist here happening. See if you can find the center of that wheel head. Like you're trying to shrink it down. You're trying to shrink the clay right into the center of the wheel. Now use that side hand to sort of push inwards at the top to get rid of that mushroom. With when you're...
Ah!
Whoa! Did it?
I'll fix it. Maybe not.
Do you want to cut it off and leave it just like that? And have like a little pouring vessel?
Sure.
Okay, let's do that. No pressure. Sure.
Ready? Did it.
Woo! So what happens after this point with
Those pieces?
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to sit for a little bit. I don't know if you want a handle on your gravy boat or you just want it as is. But it needs to be cleaned up. The bottom needs to be cleaned up and then it needs to dry. And then I can fire it. These are like the heart of the studio. They complete everything, get it all done and functional.
And how long would they go in here for?
From start to finish, from the time I put the pieces into the kiln, from the time I take them out, it's about 24 hours.
Ooh.
Yeah, these
Wow.
things get up to 2200 degrees Fahrenheit. I take them out, they've been bisqued,
Yep.
then they'll be at this stage. So these have all been fired once.
Okay.
And that just gets them nice and porous and ready to accept the glaze,
All right.
which is like a coating of glass that you put on the surface, and then you cook it again and it fuses it and creates like a nice cohesive glassy surface on the top.
So you got to take the time, go to moonandjunestudio.com to check out all of Amy's artwork, and that's how you can get a hold of her. List of classes, birthday parties. Anybody can rent the studio and have just as much fun as
It was
we
fun.
did today,
Yeah.
Dave.
It was a lot of fun. Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Lorna Smith and I'm the pharmacy owner at the medicine shop here in Kenora. And today I want to talk to you about living with diabetes. November is Diabetes Awareness Month. Here at the medicine shop, I really care about making improvements in your diabetes care. Important tools always are activity and nutrition, but also we look at medication and other lifestyle influences that can help you improve the quality of your life by offering free classes to anybody in the community, one-on-one, and managing your diabetes as you transition through changes with it going forward. My goal is to care about your diabetes right now and manage it in a way that makes you feel successful. I hope you consider stopping by the medicine shop for some education on your diabetes and that it will help you improve your quality of life.
We had the annual tree lighting ceremony right here in Kenora. It's quite a unique event.
Huge.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's been to Kenora or seen how massive our tree is at Christmas time. It's so exciting.
Right in the middle of the street.
Right in the
there.
middle of downtown Kenora.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's at least 30 feet high.
Yeah.
Did you go this year, Dave?
I missed this year. The first time I've missed. I got tied up and was late getting in. But you went, I understand.
I went.
And
I
how'd
went
it go?
with my big crew, and they had a friend over, so there was actually 4 kids.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yes.
They were so pumped, and Santa was there this year.
I know.
Yeah.
I miss Santa.
Big deal.
Yeah.
My little 3-year-old. Of course, there was someone there taking pictures. You get your picture taken with Santa.
Yes.
And my 3-year-old, because he's about this high, just like weasels his way right through the crowd. And he was standing in everybody's family pictures with Santa, and he's just
Yeah.
like,
Photobomb.
had no idea he was doing anything wrong. And so I had to coax him out of there, and I was like, "Okay, it's your turn." So he went in and gave Santa a big hug, and then just like staring there with his
Awesome.
Santa face. Yeah, it was
That's
very
good.
cute
And they had a
exciting.
little thing afterwards at the museum, I understand.
Yeah.
Again, they always do.
I was
Yeah.
surprised every year. It's amazing. The museum welcomes a herd of people,
Yep.
like probably 200 people, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Children, lots of children, into the museum. They have cookies, all kinds of cookies. Maybe that's why
love
you
that.
weren't going.
Oh, I would have been there for the cookies. Yeah.
You would have had a limit of one.
Yes.
But they have
probably.
beautiful cookies and apple cider, and you can view the museum, and there's carolers, and it's spectacular.
It's a good time. It's
The
a good
kids-
start for the festive season.
It
Here
is.
we are.
It's so
Christmas is coming.
exciting.
It's great.
Yeah, and the cold weather came for that day too.
Yes.
Seems like we dressed for
Yes.
it, but yeah.
It's a busy time of year. There's lots of stuff happening. Lots
There
of stuff
is.
in our communities and other communities. We'll mention a few of them. On first of all, the Shine the Light on woman abuse. On the 25th, November 25th, is the International Day to Eliminate Violence Against Women. This is being held in Sioux Lookout. Get together and celebrate on this day. They'll be lighting up the park beside St. Andrew's United Church on 6th Avenue in Sioux Lookout between 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock. So if you're in Sioux Lookout, go out and attend.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you find yourself in Fort Francis, tomorrow, of course, they have the annual Santa Claus Parade in Fort Francis. Starts at 7:30, or sorry, at 5:30, not 7:30, 5:30.
You'd miss it.
Yes, be there. It's starting at where we are, November 26th. Oh, it's on Reed Avenue, traveling down Scott Street. I'm sure you know all about that. What else have we got going?
Well, the Harbortown Biz here in Kenora has Black Friday scavenger hunt.
Yes.
So if you participate in the scavenger hunt Friday and or Saturday, you could be eligible to win a $250 gift certificate. That would put a big dent into the Christmas shopping.
$250. That'd be
Yep.
great.
So there's lots of businesses in and around downtown Kenora, and it's happening Friday and Saturday. So shops are staying open late. Midnight Madness
Wow.
on Friday.
And if you find yourself in Sioux Lookout again on Saturday, November the 26th, between 10 o'clock and 3 o'clock, they have their Grey Cup Market. They have a market going on and shop for clothing and crafts, baked goods, and more. And it is taking place at, where are we? In Sioux Lookout? It's taking place at Sunset Inn and Suites. So if you're in Sioux Lookout, go there.
So we have the Ladies in Black,
Oh.
Kenora Warmth and Wellness.
Yes.
The 8th annual fall sale. So this is taking place at the Rideout Rink. November 26th, so tomorrow, 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. You can rent tables, contact Wendy, and check out their Pink Elephant sale. So they raise proceeds so that they can help other people. So help them help more people.
And join us tonight, Friday. We're going to be at the
Miracle Marathon. Bring a canned good or a
Yeah.
toy down to Deerward Motors here
Yeah.
in Kenora, and you can share a Christmas story with me and Dave on Miracle
Marathon.
What is wrong with
There
me
we are.
today?
It's a Miracle Marathon. You're thinking
It's
of
a
your story.
miracle that I can
Yes, you're
get
going to
it
have
out
to think of your story
today.
because they're going to hit you up for tonight. I guarantee
I've got
it.
a few.
Yeah?
Got a few.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
good.
excited. Tomorrow we're going to be at Santa Claus Parade as
Yes,
well.
we are.
Downtown Kenora. So
Yeah.
give us a wave if you see us out on the street.
That's right.
What a great show.
It is a good
Went by
show.
so fast.
I forgot to mention my shirt. We'll mention it next week.
Yeah.
The contest coming up.
Happy winter.
Yes.
Be safe on the roads.
Yes. Drive safe, everybody.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you next weekend.
Excellent.
Clothing for Good Morning Sunset Country host Deb Cruikshank is generously provided by Sure Thing. Life is good at Sure Thing. Clothing for host Dave Kane is generously provided by Lincoln Pin at 117 Main Street South in Kenora.